Good morning. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. I thought I would start out talking a little bit about a different type of journal. I had a book that I really enjoyed. I saw it online in 2005 and I was able to print it out. I actually went online and found that you can still go and print it out. So if you're interested, the book is Wishcraft, and you can go to wishcraft.com to print it out. I love this format for journaling. I've used this a lot. I've actually photocopied sections of other books to use as a journal. Like I said, if you have a book and you'd like to make a journaling companion to it, it's a great idea. Even if you want to do it online, you can probably quickly do something to make available to people that really love your book, and they can download it and use it as a journal. This book was Wishcraft. I have used it since 2005. I've highlighted in it. I've kept notes in it. When I initially did this project, I'm a big fan of databases. I use databases a lot in my previous work experience, and I would love to create databases. I learned how to use, this is a long time ago, Lotus 123, and then when Excel came out, I was ecstatic. I used it to create databases. I worked in finance, so I used it for financial applications. When I first took the class, I was really happy. My grandfather was taking the class. I was out on the East Coast. He was out here. I would actually talk to him about it. He was much better at it than I was. I was always disappointed, and I was always trying to compete with him. So I actually have taken this book, and there were 3 sections that I made into an Excel spreadsheet. One was identifying 20 things, and I actually have 21 on here, that you love to do. I mentioned this in a previous video before. And then in this, it asked you certain questions. Like one of the questions was, how long has it been since you've done this activity? Does it cost anything, or is it free? Can you do it alone or with someone? Is it planned or spontaneous? Is it job related? Is there physical risk involved? Is it fast or slow paced? Does it include mind, body, or spirit? So anyway, so then I would go through and I would mark my answers to these 21 things that I really like to do. So what I found out from this exercise, and it really hasn't changed, almost everything that's on here is still what I really love to do. Nothing has really changed. The only thing that has really changed is my number one thing to do is exercise, and that's just because I love physical activity of all kinds. I love all sports. So the only thing that's changed with that is that I've started paddleboarding. I didn't paddleboard at that time. I didn't know about it. So then I would write in here, how long has it been since I've done it? What's the cost of it? And I had said in a previous video that I realized a lot of the things that I like to do don't cost any money. So almost everything was free. There was only a few things on here that actually cost money. And then a lot of the things I can do alone. There are only some things that I needed to absolutely have someone to do with it, and some things that I could choose to do with somebody or by myself. And then is it planned or spontaneous? A lot of things could be planned or spontaneous, but there's some things that were absolutely spontaneous. I could tell you that one of the things was finding beauty in nature. I've always loved that since 2005. I've even known that a long time ago. So that's something that's spontaneous because you never know when it's going to happen. You can plan it, but a lot of times you can't plan beauty. It just ends up being there or not being there. So the next category was job related. Is it job related? There were only 5 things that were job related on there. Is there physical risk involved? No, I don't usually ever feel physical risk, even if it is something dangerous. I probably should. I love riding motorcycles. That never stopped me. I should be more concerned about it, but I don't. I'm not. Then one of the categories is fast or slow paced. A lot of them were both. Most of the things were slow. That tells you a lot about me. I know I didn't have anything on here that was always fast paced. And then the last category was mind and body or spiritual. And then it was a combination of all 3. A lot of times, a lot of things were very heavy on the mind part because I did it alone. So anyway, this was one of the categories. I marked it. I created a database. I have a tape flag to mark it. Then the next section was creating your ideal environment, and I just used a graph paper and listed my ideal environment, what that would look like. And again, I marked it with a tape flag. And if you go through this book, it'll naturally bring you to these sections, and you can create your own journal entry with it. Nothing has changed on this as far as what my ideal environment looks like. I knew what it was in 2005. I know what it is now. It hasn't changed very much, although I will go back and review this. I have never made any changes to this page. The last tape flag that I have is actually listing my ideal week. This originally was done November 3rd, 2005. So I broke it down by time, by task, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish based on my list of things that I like to do. There's not a lot of things that have changed on here, except that my kids have gotten older, so they don't require me to help them, and I'm in the process of going back to work. So my work schedule will probably look similar to this, and if it doesn't, I will just work around that. That's not an issue. One of the most important things that I always try to plan on here is exercise of some sort. I love exercising. One of the other things is I'm not in a relationship anymore. When I initially did this on my schedule from 8:30 to 9:30 every other day, I was doing massage. I really love massage. It's very good for your relationship. It's really good for the loved ones that you're with. I enjoy doing it. I did it because I wanted to become a certified massage therapist. But what happened was after I did this for a very long time with only one person, and it was somebody that I loved, that I couldn't do it with just anyone, and I never actually became a massage therapist, even though I have all of these hours that I have practiced. And I still have my massage table, and I've also been the recipient of a lot of massages because I traveled a lot, and for my job, people would say, oh, I'd really like to give you a gift or something like that. And I always responded the same way. Get me a massage. Find the best massage therapist that you have and book a massage for me. That's what I'd really like. It's not something physical. It's something that I would help relieve stress. And so as a result of that, I've had massages all over the United States. So I could give you feedback on that. in probably some of the most beautiful locations. And so anyway, that's my third tape flag in this book, Wishcraft. And then I like this format because then after I read this book, which I really love. Oh, by the way, this book, when I went on the website, I don't know when it was last updated, but it said it was the 30th anniversary of Wishcraft. Oh, I couldn't believe it. So anyway, you can download it for free. There's no cost. And she has some other programs there that you can do with her, the author. And I haven't done any. I don't know if I will. I was interested to see what she had there. In this, it's kind of old. There was an article from October 27th, 2005. I thought it was interesting because it says 75 reasons to be glad you're an American entrepreneur right now, because I was at the time thinking about starting my own massage therapy business. So I was really interested in that. I have highlighted on here some of the things that I was really interested in. As a matter of fact, one of them is Jim Collins, and he wrote Good to Great. I read that book. I love that book. The Kaufman Foundation I have highlighted in here. One of the things I didn't have highlighted in here, but I thought it was interesting, and of course I paid attention to numbers. So number 8 on this was Jay-Z. Jay-Z's, his business, I hope I'm saying it right, Roca-Ware? Anyway, I had to go up and look at it online yesterday. Wow, it's really successful. So he's done a lot since 2005. Number 21 was giving you a reason why why it was good to start a business at this time. I have highlighted Peter Drucker, who is a speaker and an author, and interestingly enough, I also looked him up. He passed away a month after this was printed, which was really interesting. I didn't know. I hadn't checked on him in a long time. Also in this article, There was the National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurship, which I thought was interesting. Number 37 was eBay. Anyway, there's some other things in here. The Entrepreneurs Organization, www.yeo.org. And so there's some other things on here. There's even a section, it was number 48, about Simon Cowell in development of the $1 million idea. So there's a lot of things in this that, even though it's old. Oh, one last thing I'm going to mention. Number 57 was Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart's autobiography on a handbook for developing from scratch, utilizing advice and expertise from a woman who built the $1 million brand. It was for a book. Let's see what it says here. Oh, it's called Martha's Rules. So anyway, this was an article that I put in here after I read this book. It was really inspiring. Then after that, I put some actual contacts that I had that I thought would be helpful if I was going to be starting my own business. Like I said, I didn't start that business for a lot of reasons. But anyway, this format works really well for journaling. You can go ahead and go to this website for Wishcraft and design your life. I've used it. This one tab, this third tab, for your ideal week. I still use this. I have had many revisions to this. I don't have it in here because there were so many revisions since 2005. I don't feel attached to any one schedule. I can be very flexible. I know what's important to me, and I will just continue to try and fit everything in together. And that is about this journal structure, and I hope that you can go online and look at Wishcraft. It's free. You can download it. You can use it as a journaling in this format, 8.5 by 11. And I look forward to leaving you another message about journaling in the future. And I'm going to give you a hug. Virtual hug world. Virtual hug.